Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024, and I have come to two realizations very recently. Fishing sucks, and I suck at it. I cannot recall a slower start to the fishing season than what I have experienced for the past 2 months. I can't catch anything, no matter where I go, whether it's the weather or what have you. It's just not happening this year, and it's really frustrating. So I decided to come here to one of my favorite spring ponds after work and just see if I couldn't catch anything. I'm gonna start throwing around a little panfish jig, and I'm just looking for bites. I don't care what they are. Could be bass, could be crappie, could be sunfish. I just do not care. I need to get some bites and build some confidence. It has just been rough as all get out to start the year. Oh, fish on. That was a light bite. Bluegill. All right, cool. Not a bad sized bluegill to start things off. Heck, even if I could get a bunch of those, I'll consider the day a win. So despite my lack of confidence and overall negative frame of mind, I have been fishing. You can't accuse me of not trying. It's just that it's been going incredibly badly, and there's nothing that I've wanted to show you guys. I went fishing after work one day last week, and I literally rage quit. It went that badly. And over the weekend, I opened the cabin, and over the course of 3 days, my total catch was 5 pickerel. Most of it off camera. I tried to make a video with the footage I had, but it wound up being about 5 minutes long and extremely uninteresting, so I just decided to scrap that idea. It's just been rough. It's been really rough. I mean, I've gone through rough patches before, but not in the springtime. This is when the fish are supposed to start waking up. This is supposed to be when the bite's supposed to get good. And it just hasn't gotten good. It's like all of my go-to spots have just dried up. Just as a matter of perspective, we are now in the last week in April, and my best bass fishing day so far this year was in February. And there's really no reason why that should be the case. But despite all the complaining I'm doing, I am trying to remain positive, because at the moment, conditions are actually stacking up in my favor. Weather has been stable and mild the past few days. In fact, it almost got up to 70 degrees today. And the full moon was last night, which theoretically should signal fish to start moving around and getting active. So, who knows? Today might be the day where things turn a corner. I mean, I know it's going to happen sooner or later. So far, I have seen several bluegill up shallow, but I'm not getting many of them to bite, which is definitely worrisome. If the bluegill are sluggish, you could be in for a tough day. Ooh, that was a nice hit. He didn't get it in his mouth, but it was a nice hit. Good and solid. Fish on. Well, I saw him streak out to get that. came out from under that bank of muck over there. That's a largie. Little guy. All right. I'll take it. There's a fish. That's another bass. Another one that won't break any records, but I'm using an ultralight. And a fish that size on an ultralight, you can feel them. Man, this is nice. It's not raining. It's not too cold. It's not too windy. And the bite actually seems to be okay. I can feel my spirits brightening already. Oh, there he is. I just saw the jig disappear. And this is the magician that made it vanish. Another little largie. There's a fish. Hey, it's a crappie. I was wondering when these guys would show up. Oops. They are long overdue. Oh, there's another one. Very next cast. It's another crappie. Need the pliers for this dude. All right. There we go. Going from no crappie to crappie on back-to-back casts. Hope that's the start of a feeding frenzy. There's a fish. Another crappie. Well, they've all been almost the exact same size. I'm not complaining. It's action, it's bites. That's what I came here for. Okay guys, I found where the crappie are bedding. I've seen dozens of crappie on beds along this bank here. So I tied on a little drop shot and I'm gonna see if that's the ticket. There we go. Haha. All right. Whoops. He took a hard landing. He should be all right though. This is interesting. I've actually never bed fished for crappie before. I mean, I've caught crappie during the spawning season, but I've never actually targeted crappie beds before. There we go. Come on up here. Oh, it's a largie. Okay. Because he was hanging around the outside of the bedding area. Alrighty. Oh! I was just about to pull it out. This guy charged out from underneath that patch of weeds. And he got it. Boy, I'm fishing for crappie on beds and I'm catching more bass than anything. Wonder if that's normal. Like I said, I've never really done this before. There we go. Dropped this thing right in the middle of his nest. He couldn't stand it. That is just buried in the top of his mouth. Okay, there we go. Nice. This is fun. Man, that's what I've been missing. Like, the past several times I've gone out fishing, it just hasn't been fun. I've been going out expecting to struggle. And that puts you in a very poor frame of mind. And it just prevents you from enjoying yourself. Because you know you're going to have a hard time. Well, I am not having a hard time today. There we go. Man, it's funny. Sometimes you'll drop it right in the middle of their nest and they'll just stare at it. And then other times you put it in there and immediately he slurps it up. Like there's a bed right next to that one. I jiggled this thing in front of his face for 2 minutes. And all he did was look at it. There we go. I guess I just gotta find the right ones. They're like largemouths. Some of them aren't gonna bite, but some of them will. You just gotta keep pitching into every bed you see until you find that one that's gonna eat. There we go. Didn't even see that one. Nice dark spawning fish. There's a fish. That's a nice one. Didn't even see that one on a bed. I was out in a bit deeper water. I wonder, is this like a female that's patrolling the outer edge? And it's the males that are on the nest closer in? Because I know that's pretty much what bass are like. A lot of times it's the male that guards the nest and the females are just kind of out in the first break line, just patrolling. Most of the bites I'm getting are not when I'm targeting specific beds. Seems like most of the time it's when I'm bringing this thing in from deeper water towards like a cluster of beds. And as soon as I get near it, one of them grabs it. All right, everybody, it is getting too dark to sight fish, so I think I am going to call it an evening. This was fun. I had a ton of fun. The bite was pretty good. I found some spawning crappie and I was able to bedfish for them, which is something I've never done before. And I couldn't be happier right now. You know, with how much I've struggled the past couple of months, I really needed a day like this where I just got a bunch of bites and even got to experience something new, which is always a bonus. So, yeah, I mentioned earlier that maybe this is when things turn the corner. I don't see why not. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.